Hi friends, we're kicking off today's show with Isaiah Templeton, a worship leader with Elevation Music who has a special message and ministry that goes beyond Sunday services. Next, we'll head to the kitchen with the CEO of Sprinkles herself to learn how to decorate Valentine's Day cookies and make the holiday just a little sweeter. Then Jackie Brewster is sharing a preview of her new book all about the Enneagram and marriage and helping us connect on a deeper level with those we love. Finally, I'm sitting down with the co-director of the new movie Jesus Revolution before it hits theaters later this month to see how they gave this message new life. So join me for a half hour of love, joy, encouragement, and inspiration, because this is the Sami Cone Show.
From the News Channel 5 Network, this is the Sami Cone Show.
For those of us that love to worship, we all have different people that we love to listen to. And for me, that is Isaiah Templeton of Elevation Worship. Zeke, I'm so thrilled to have you on the Sami Cone Show today.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, can I just start out by saying one of the things that amazes me with artists like you that are true artists and also lead people to the Lord through music on Sunday. How do you do it? Like, how do you keep your balance and just stay focused on pouring into your relationship with the Lord so that you can really be in a spot where you can lead people?
I tell people all the time, leading worship is just the overflow of what you do at home. And so my dad always used to tell me, don't be a public success and a private failure. So whatever you do at home, let that just be a reflection of what they see on stage. And so everything that I do on stage is stuff that I'm leading myself in at home. So the way I scream on stage, I'm screaming at home too. I can't take people to a place that I've never been. So I practice getting to the presence of God and getting before him. And so I know how to lead people there.
That is, well, okay, mic drop, we could end there. You said something on Instagram recently, and you said, a life dedicated to pointing people to God who changed my life is what you, that's how you aspire to live. And you just said it, but I mean, can I just be real for a second? Because there's days that I don't feel like showing up in public, much less in my own private life. Where do you go? What well do you draw from? What brings you out of those deep, dark places into a place where you can say, I don't like it, God, but I trust you?
Yeah. Pastor Furtick actually said something, and I'm paraphrasing because you can never say it just how he says it. But he said something one time, I don't praise God because life is good. I praise God because he is. And so the fact that he's unchanging, he's faithful, he's always the same good God. I can't switch up on him because life isn't the best. I have to. He deserves the praise that matches his goodness. So the Bible even says, great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. And one singer I heard one time, they said, let your praise always match your God. So if he's always good, his praise should always be good. If he's faithful, we should give him faithful praise. And David even said, I'll bless the Lord at all times. Yes. His praises will continue to be in my mouth. So that's where I draw from, the fact that God is always good, even when life isn't.
That is good. And that is well said, my friend. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about kind of where music is going right now, especially as it is Black History Month in February. Yeah. As a Black man, as a man of the church, are there some misnomers that you hope you get to be part of telling a different story, or are there things that you're proud of? I know you posted about some of your own mentors on social media lately, some stories that you hope to continue.
Actually, I'll say that I hope to continue to carry the legacy of those singers that have definitely affected and mentored me from afar, not even knowing who I was, but just listening to their ministries inspired me so much. The Daryl Coleys, the James Moores, the Donnie McClurkins. Smokey Norfolk actually is my mentor in real life. And so singers like that, like, they've inspired me so much. So just to continue to carry that mantle of what they've started and passed on, one day I'll be able to pass it on to some other young kid that's probably watching now. But I just want to continue to carry those legacies, those just a heart after God, a heart for people, and a heart broken before God so he can pour into it.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that. We don't have much time left, but I love that you said people that mentored you that didn't even know it. I had a mentor myself that said she had some of the greatest mentors because of books, right? And you have that through music. What advice would you give to someone that just feels maybe either unloved, unwanted, or just feels like, how can I ever get a chance to do what I love to do? What encouragement would you give to them that maybe encouraged you in your journey to where you are now?
what I'll share, I heard from a great singer, songwriter, worship leader, preacher, KJ Scriven. And he said when Jesus went to be baptized, it was before he had ever done a miracle. It was before he had ever raised the dead, before he had ever turned water into wine, before he had ever did any of that. God looked down on him and said, "This is my son in whom I'm well pleased." And he said Jesus hadn't even done any of his miracles yet. He hadn't done anything to earn or gain that kind of honor from God. And he said, what you need to know is as you go forward in your ministry, that you should always operate from a place of you've already been affirmed by God.
Wow.
And you're not trying to get validation from people. And so just the one word of advice I would give to anybody watching me or looking up to me, if there is anybody, I would say, don't live for the validation of people, but live from the affirmation of God, because he already gave it to you. He already loves you. He already approves. He already has a stamp of approval on you. He's giving you grace. He's giving you mercy. He's giving you goodness.
Yes.
And so live from that place and not for.
Zeke, thank you for that. We've got to run. Go follow him at Zeke Song. He's got some new projects coming out. Can't wait to see your live project, Zeke. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
If you're looking to make this Valentine's Day just a little bit sweeter, you have come to the right place, because I am joined by Sugar Drop's Chief Sprinkle Officer herself, Brooke Odell. Brooke.
Hello.
I just want to do this. Can you handle everything over here?
I'm good. I'm good. I can do it.
Okay, I'll restrain myself. We're going to get to this, but first we're going to learn how to decorate Valentine's Day cupcakes.
Right.
And you say anyone can do this.
Anyone can do this.
I need to be proven wrong, because I don't think I can. So what do we have? What are we looking at here?
So this set that we have is similar to our cookie decorating kits that we do for young students.
Okay.
We do a lot of school partnerships.
Is that a way to say that I should be able to do this? Okay.
You'll be fine.
Well, time will tell.
So I teach ages 3 and older, so I can handle this.
Setting the bar low, I like that.
We're good. We're good. So anyway, we're going to do some buttercream decorating today.
Okay.
You ready? All right.
I am, and I feel like that's going to be more attainable because I don't have to flood anything.
That's correct,
Okay.
And buttercream is so delicious.
It's butter and cream.
For sure. And it's just easier. I know. It's an easier thing to work with.
I love it.
So
okay.
We're going to work on the hearts today. So go ahead and grab that red. You'll see I've already got it nice and open for you.
Oh, yeah. We've cut off that tip. Okay.
We did. And you're going to just hold it kind of right between your thumb and first finger. That's what I call the seat of your hand when we're working with it.
Okay.
All right? So we're going to start with this little heart cookie. And you're going to hold your bag kind of right up and down over that heart.
Okay.
Okay, so as we're working, we're going to first start by outlining the cookie. So you're going to start by squeezing that bag.
Oh, this is easy.
And it's a nice thing because the technique I'm going to show you after this is going to allow for us, it's not going to worry if our lines are not perfectly even.
Good. Are you touching the cookie or just kind of holding it up a little bit?
Above.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm right behind you. I'm coming.
Awesome.
I'm coming.
Perfect.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do, we're just going to start a little zigzag back and forth. So this little motion of just taking our icing. Again, it doesn't matter if she's really pretty or not, because the method that we're going to do to coat this is going to allow for you to feel really successful.
Oh, I like feeling successful.
I know. So even if you're like, oh, she looked a little funny, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, we're going to be great.
Okay.
So this is the most tedious part. I feel like it's a little relaxing.
I feel like I could zen out if I was not on TV right now doing this.
That's why I'm a baker. I get to just kind of play with my food all day. So we're doing this technique back and forth.
So I'm going to let you take us to the next step. Don't wait on me.
I'll get done just a minute before you.
Yep.
So you'll see I've got her covered, but there's a few little holes. So what we're going to do is in this little plate that I have before us is some sanding sugar.
Oh, I see where this is going.
So we're going to take this and just kind of press the cookie right down inside that sugar.
And this is where we cover. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
That it's given us this really pretty background.
I like that you're making this foolproof too. Oh my gosh.
I know. So you got to press her down.
I'm not gonna. I kind of like my stripes though. Is that okay? That I'm like a little stripey.
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
Okay. So for the sake of time,
so we have some extra little sugar lay-ons here. So I'll show you. So we're just going to take this little green bag. It's cut to look like a little leaf.
Oh.
So you just kind of squeeze and pull.
Okay. Squeeze.
See, look at you.
Oh, I'm doing it, Brooke. I'm doing it.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
See how simple that is? You can go back. I brought lips and all different colors.
Yeah, you did.
But look at this. See? I told you
I
we
did
could do it.
it. I'm so
Successful.
excited.
I know.
That's so fun.
So in the other square, the rectangle shape is what we would design to look like an envelope. So like a sealed with a kiss concept.
Of course we would.
You know, yeah,
Super cute. Okay.
So super easy.
And you
yes.
sell these at Sugar Drop.
We sell these at Sugar Drop.
Okay.
We also have really fun classes too, where you can come and learn a little bit more in depth.
Okay.
And then you can also just pick up cookie kits to go. We sell them online.
I just have to play while we're talking.
I know,
so
it's
like
so
same
fun.
thing. You would just look
Same
at that.
concept,
Okay.
back and forth. I know.
So if one wanted to go to Sugar Drop, if
Yes.
one didn't feel as talented, I don't want you to feel intimidated by my new expertise here.
I know.
But
I'm
if we
gonna
want to
let
go,
you
what are
roll.
some of the other things that you have here that are so yummy to look at?
Yes, so we're a full service bakery. Sugar Drop's actually been around for almost 60 years in Brentwood, but
Okay.
I bought it, we revamped it, and we are in Franklin now.
Okay.
So in our brand, our store, it's glitter floors, candy chandeliers, kind of the Willy Wonka of Williamson
Yes,
County.
I love it.
So these are some of the samplings we have for Valentine's Day. We have our Snoop and Martha.
I was going to say, can we draw our attention to the
I
little?
know.
First of all, it's set in a box of gummy bears. So
Of course, it's a
but
Boo Bear box.
Thanks
yes.
for being
Thanks
my
for
boo.
being my boo. Mhm.
Naturally.
Yes, we have a candy tic-tac-toe cookie kit for Valentine's.
So cute.
We've got like a little package. Oh, that's our signature popcorn that we
It's
brought.
so good.
of
I love
course.
this. Is what made me fall in love with you.
Yes.
It's so delicious.
And then I brought a triple chocolate cake to showcase, and then the topper on it is actually our own line of toppers that we make at the shop too. So you can
So you
buy them
could buy
wholesale, and you can buy them on Etsy and directly through the store. as
Fabulous.
well.
Okay, so if we do want some young people to take advantage of camps, we have just a little bit of time
Yes.
left. You're already registering for your summer camps.
That's right.
Okay.
I know. So we do classes and private events all year,
Yeah.
but in the summer we have 10 amazing hands-on weeks. at
That's
summer camp.
amazing. And we're
and
finishing up,
one
so
of
we need to.
I know. One of the things that we
Cheers.
do for all of our events are these cotton candy cocktail drinks.
I love it. Brooke, thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to cheers with you.
I know.
Go see Brooke at Sugar Drop
Perfect.
and enjoy a candy
Cheers.
cocktail.
Yeah. Thank you.
This Valentine's Day, wouldn't we all love to have a little more insights into our partner? Well, I've got just the person to help with that. I'm joined by Jackie Brewster, author and Enneagram specialist and friend. Welcome, Jackie.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really excited because you have a new book coming out about the Enneagram and marriages, and I happen to have a copy, and I hear you have not seen it yet.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
So hold your book.
Oh my gosh.
This is your
Yes.
book. And it's a workbook, which is
Yes.
really awesome. So you've been on the show before to talk about the Enneagram, so we won't go there except to say, like,
Yeah.
let me just say, sometimes I wish you would just like tell me, like, Sami, you're a this. Like, do you ever get that? Do you feel people think you're like a psychic or this
Yes.
is something, some weird thing going on?
Yes, all the time. People
Yeah.
are like at a dinner party, like, okay, go around the room and tell us
Yeah.
all of our numbers. And I'm like, it doesn't really work like that, guys. How about you guys tell me about you? And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let me hold this so
Yes.
you don't. I know you're.
Oh my
I don't want you to be
gosh.
like my baby here.
Oh,
but,
it is.
But this is really exciting because it is a workbook. So
Yes.
why this book in this format now?
Oh my gosh, what a great question. So I've been married for 24 years, right? All the ups and downs, bumps and bruises along the way. And what I realized is that it takes a whole lot more than just love. And so it takes a solid foundation. And to build a solid foundation, you've got to really understand each other. And so the tools of the Enneagram in this book really help us to uncover and discover parts of ourselves, but also parts of our partner, which when you're doing it side by side, it creates this beautiful bond of emotional connection.
Yeah.
And it is just, oh my gosh.
So that's what we hope will happen.
Yes,
Okay. What if
yes.
someone is watching and is like, there's no way I'm going to get my partner to do this? What then? Do we just give up?
No, I don't ever want you to give
Okay.
up on it because I want you to discover more about yourself, because part of it is like understanding who you are, why you do what you do, and your patterns of behavior. And then holding space for yourself so that there's room for you to hold space for somebody else. So you could pick up this workbook and start working through it yourself, and perhaps as you're learning things about you, your partner might be interested.
Yeah, and I think when you learn about the Enneagram, sometimes kind of like when you say, well, tell me about myself, I think there's people that say, like, I don't want to be that number. Or you learn about yourself, parts of yourself that are broken, and then maybe the same happens for your partner. How do you deal with those hard revelations?
So throughout the whole workbook, it's designed to help you walk into this with each other. So there's all kinds of different pieces of like holding space for the childhood story, understanding where things come from and why they come from those places. So I think that as you begin to understand more about yourself in those places, that this is where some of those hard revelations begin to soften you, because you're like, okay, there's a reason for this. It's not just this is who I am and oh well. Now it's like, no, these patterns developed because I tried to get love, I tried to keep myself safe, and I tried to get my needs met.
Yeah, and I love each week has a question or an activity that you're supposed to do with your spouse. I'm the type of person that likes to kind of skip to the end sometimes, but you say don't fast forward. Why is it so important to go in order?
So I think that information is not transformation until you activate it. And so I want to help people take the information that they're learning, right, and then activate it. And so I give you activities to help you take that information and do something with it that that can move you forward towards growth.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, before we end, what is something that our audience can do? Like if there's one thing you want them to walk, because you've got these great, the cards, you know, you've got a lot of tools, but if someone's still like, I haven't heard of the Enneagram, I don't know what to do, where should they start, or what's an easy entry for them?
Well, an easy entry is to go online and take an Enneagram test. And so I like the Ready test, but there's lots of different tests out there that you could do. Take a test and start to ask yourself questions. Is this true about me? Where does this come from? You can always call me for coaching. I'm a life coach, so I help people uncover and discover all day different parts of themselves. So you could always do something like that. But I do think any of the products that I have, so I have a book, I have these cards or this new book coming out, all of them have a map kind of directing you into the information, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Before we wrap, where can people connect with you and pick up the book? Because it comes out in March.
It comes out, yeah.
Yep. So I should say Enneagram with JB, right?
Yes, Enneagram with JB. That's Instagram. My website is enneagramwithjb.com. And talk back to me, because I love to talk back to people on socials.
Fantastic. So, yes, you're so good at that. You've got a podcast. Make sure you check out the Enneagram of Marriage. Thank you for being here, Jackie.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have you ever heard a story but seen it brought to life in a new way? Well, that's what my next guest has done with his new movie, Jesus Revolution. Brent McCorkle, welcome to the Sami Cone Show.
So good to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited to have you here because this isn't your first movie. We'll talk about some other films that you've worked on. But I have to ask, first of all, when you take a story that people know, right? This isn't a story that you created, but you're telling it in a new way or from a different perspective. How do you even begin that process on a project like this?
Well, some of you really have to hold sacred. You want to honor the real story, but at the same time, you're tasked with telling a really entertaining version of that story, making it into a movie that works, you know, and all the acts have to hit and have the good breaks and everything. So yeah, I think this one in particular, so much of it, what you would expect that we embellished or added little things to, it's actually the stuff that you wouldn't believe is the stuff that's true. So we ended up using a lot of the real material, and you know, it found its way into the movie. So I mean, we did not architect much around the truthful elements of the movie on this one. Now, on some true stories, you have to, you know, move things around and change chronology to make it into a good movie. But this just really wanted to tell itself, and it fit into a movie construct really effortlessly.
Yeah, and I got a preview of it, just to say, and I want to talk about something because I felt like, if I can say, some Christian films, if we can call this, have not been done maybe to the degree of what we would expect from a typical like Hollywood in-studio film. I was really captivated, and I don't know if it's because I didn't grow up in the church or I didn't know much about it, but for people that maybe haven't heard of what the Jesus Revolution is or was, can you just give a quick synopsis of what that period in history was and why you felt compelled to tell the story?
Sure, and I would preface that by saying, if you're not in the church, go see this movie. It really is cool, and I appreciate you saying that about just, it definitely feels like something that came out of Hollywood, and
for sure.
Lionsgate was a partner. But this movie is 1969, and our country is just in a dark, divided place. We had all the political assassinations. MLK is gone, JFK is gone, his brother is gone. We're in the Vietnam War. State troopers have just shot students at Kent State. Our own state troopers killing Americans on our soil. Like tons of crazy stuff happening. The Vietnam War, and everybody's just burnt out, and the kids eject out of society. They run away from home, become hippies, and in all of their sojourning spiritually, they burn out as hippies because they get to the end of that, all the free sex and the drugs and the rock and roll, and it's still like there's still an emptiness to what it means to be a human. And so the square pastor in 1969 opens up his doors to these hippies and lets them come in, much to the chagrin of his church board.
Right.
Causes a lot of strife in the church, and yet he just really feels like that's what he's supposed to do, and he does it. And you just see these beautiful disparate groups find this place of belonging together. And to me, this movie is like a callback to maybe the tenets of what Christianity could be, which is love, acceptance, forgiveness, empathy, compassion, belonging.
Yeah.
All those things that it seems to me a lot of the loud voices screaming on, in all caps on Facebook or whatever are missing the point. So I just feel like this movie's a love letter. I do think there's a bunch of beautiful things in it for people who go to church, but also for the mainstream to look at as well.
I'm so glad you said that, because I feel like as a Christ follower now, it was the best of what we hope to be. And I mean, it was told in this kind of true to time where I really felt myself pulled into the film. And one of the quotes that I loved was that the square pastor's wife said, "The truth is always quiet, it's the lies that are loud." What do you hope people walk away? We have just a minute left, but is there a truth that you hope people walk away from the film with or encourage others with?
I'm a pastor's kid, and all that implies, read the whole Bible when I was 18, and I've gone through this process of distilling my faith down almost to like what I would believe about it as a 5-year-old kid, and that is that God is love, and God loves everybody, and no matter what you've done or where you've been, there's a place for you to belong, and you are safe in God. And like, if you can wrap your head around those things, I really think the Christian religion can be very beautiful, and it can be a place of love and belonging for people from all walks of life, irrespective of your beliefs. I think right now we're in this angry time of it. People put their beliefs over love, and it's like, it's got to be love forward.
I know. There's so much more I want to ask you about, but suffice it to say, go see Jesus Revolution in theaters on February 24th. You can get your tickets now at jesusrevolution.movie. Kelsey Grammer, Kimberly Williams Paisley, so many great people. Make sure you check it out. Thanks, Brent.
Thank you.
Before I go, I need you to know God is there. Even in the midst of a month focused on love, I know so many of us are experiencing disappointments in people, events, and expectations. But the one constant in all of it is that God is there. Psalm 145:13 says, "The Lord is faithful to all his promises." When someone on this earth lets us down, which is inevitable, God will remain constant. Just remember, no matter what circumstance you may be up against, God is there. His love is unconditional and his promises endure. Be comforted that we never have to go through anything alone. He is here. I'm thankful each of you were here with me today, and I hope you've been encouraged to spread love, sprinkle joy, and spark challenging conversations. I hope you have a great day. Make sure you make it great, and do not wait to tell someone you love how you feel about them. Bye, friends.